It's time for a random review.
All right, welcome to the original Geek Random Review, where we take movies and TV shows, we roll a d20, and we let fate decide the topic. We don't know if it's going to be hits, misses, fights, or full-blown fandom wars. There's no prep, no safety net, so get ready to roll for review. Today, we're going to go through and we're talking about Stranger Things Part 2, episodes 5, 6, and 7. With me, of course, is Mr. Shaw.
That's right. Jeff Shaw here. Friends don't lie, and neither do we. We're ready to random review this thing.
All right. We're going to jump right in. I'm going to roll for you.
All right.
All right. Here we go. The suspense is killing you. You know it
is. I'm ready.
A 10. Successful perception check. The genre expectation. The wormhole mislead. So many expected time travel, but the whole wormhole is apparently just a bridge. Some felt misled. Others praised the restraint, avoiding the time travel consequences. No resets, no paradoxes, just the damage you live with. What do you think?
I mean, there's Mr. Clark in season 1 talks about wormholes. There's a variety of wormhole references. I don't understand why people are thinking that this was a mislead. In fact, I think I feel like the potential for a time travel, and yeah, we talked about that in our last episode, that there was like Back to the Future references and other things. So I understand that, but the wormhole was not a mislead. Time travel might have been a mislead, perhaps. But the thing is, we still have the ending, and I still think the possibility of Henry trying to heal that wound from his childhood, perhaps that could be his actual endgame, to use these 12 kids to somehow reset the past. It is possible. I agree, that the wormhole is the most likely outcome, and there's only 2 hours left, right? So we got this whole beanstalk theory that's got to occur. So I don't know if they could fit in a time travel or a reset, but it's possible.
Yeah, I actually was thinking, because I've heard a lot of folks talk about, and again, like you said, we talked about it before, the idea of time travel here was, I thought, foregone conclusion. It was to the point where some people were upset, like, oh my God, if they erase the past and they make it so that none of this happened, we talked about the whole JR thing being a dream back in the day with Dallas, right? So I, for one, am very glad it does not appear to be any time link. Not yet. I mean, I guess in the last 2 hours they could squeeze it in. It would be weird to do that, but especially with the pacing, the story, the way they're pacing it in the last few episodes, it doesn't seem like they could squeeze in both an incursion from world to world and a time travel loop, even though with Back to the Future and A Wrinkle in Time and all of this stuff. But, A Wrinkle in Time had a lot of other references with Camazotz and stuff. So
it was there. Yeah. It could have been a red herring. That's true. Are you ready for your top?
I'm ready to roll.
All right. A 7. Successful stealth check. Quiet acceptance. Mr. Clark's full buy-in. A subtle but powerful payoff. Clark treats the supernatural as a problem to solve, not deny. Fans love that D&D becomes a shared language, not a metaphor. Adults who listen survive longer in Hawkins.
I'm very glad I got this one. Some of my favorite scenes were with Mr. Clark. The show is always great. I know people are harping on it. People are review bombing, and we can talk about some of the other stuff they're review bombing. But in this case, and it, to me, there was like the ultimate duo, because Murray has to go pick up Mr. Clark with the sister. And oh my goodness, Lucas's little sister, whose name I can't remember the character's name, but it's hysterical because, you know, he's the character you don't expect to be in a romantic relationship gets caught with his pants down, quite literally, and they're coming to him for help. And all they have to say is Dustin's in trouble, and he's there. Do you know what I mean? And he doesn't seem to flinch. The most he reacts is the scene where they're at Hawkins' lab, and 11 pulls the huge metal plate out of the ground, and she's just doing this, and he's looking at her like, holy shit. Like, it's just a small look in his eyes, and even Hopper turns to him and goes, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, right? It's hysterical. And then in the big plan where they finally come to this idea of what they're going to use the wormhole for and how they can beanstalk it, you know, Dustin calls it the Abyss, and he's like, what's the Abyss? And Mr. Clark joins in. They all go, it's D&D, right? So I love the fact that Mr. Clark was a big part of this, and that they brought him back. You know, they teased him a little earlier in the season where they brought back the idea of the wormhole again, and the idea of Vecna's thing looking like a wormhole. But it's cool to see that they brought him back in for this endgame moment.
Agreed. Yeah. Love that Mr. Clark comes back, and he was already set up from, like I said, season 1 with his description of the wormhole. And I felt just his interactions over time, even though they never brought him in, but they kept everything pretty close anyway. They didn't really tell many people what was really going on with the Upside Down or any of this stuff. So they didn't bring him in till they had to. And then, but the fact that he was ready to embrace it and support it and make sure they were successful. I mean, he's the one who lets them through those military gates, right? So he's got the idea of the balloons for the triangulation. So yeah.
Well, he becomes their substitute, Dustin, right? Because Dustin's the one that does all that gadgetry.
Yeah.
And he learned it all from Mr. Clark, so it's cool to see them pull him in.
Yeah, he's the MacGyver. They need it.
And I'm telling you, they just kept calling him Snookums. Murray kept calling him Snookums the whole time.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Are
we ready for a prediction? Because
I was gonna say we only have a couple days. We are currently on December 29th. This sucker drops in 2 days.
Yeah, so I don't usually do this, but I watched a lot of YouTube prediction videos and no one has mine. So I'm happy to present my prediction. Okay, so music has been so important. We've gotten The Clash, we've gotten Metallica, we got Kate Bush. So far this season, we got Tiffany. I'm sorry. No.
I was just going to say, don't forget
that
Tiffany.
Does not fly. I will not abide.
Hey, Jeff, I think we're alone now.
So here it is. I looked it up. 1987, where this takes place. Fall of 1987, even more particular. NXS has some big hits, including Devil Inside. So that is going to be our banger. And this is what's going to happen. So they use the radio station. They have the album. They're trying to decide on the album to use. And Robin says no to the Butthole Surfers. I like the Butthole Surfers, but I think NXS. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be Devil Inside. It's going to overcome the sound things that Dr. K has set up to combat and neutralize 11 and 8's powers. It's going to be Devil Inside coming through those speakers. And then it activates the devil inside 11. She's got Henry's blood, Vecna's blood, the devil inside. Boom! That's the song. That's my prediction. Devil Inside. Let's see if it happens.
And so what, you think she's going to then turn on the gang because she's got the devil inside?
Oh, no, but she's going to use that power. The devil that's inside of her is going to be what overcomes the devil outside. I'm just predicting the banger song that we're
You're just predicting the song. I got you. I've been thinking about this, and I've seen a few of them myself. I hadn't actually heard anything about the songs. I do like that. I think you're in your own little spot there. I don't think this is a show fraught with red herrings, with twists and turns. this mixed metaphor of D&D and Wrinkle in Time, and we thought it was time travel, but it's really just a bridge, and there's an incursion essentially, which is a Marvel thing, and there's so many layers that I think they're basically shotgunning us with all of these options, and then one will emerge. And the one I think is most likely is that Kali is Vecna's secret agent. He did it to Will, and he said, "You're going to be my spy one more time." But Kali has been in the Upside Down, yes, supposedly under the guise of, not under the guise of, but under the whatever restrictions of the military. She's having her blood drained, but she's in the Upside Down. She's in a wormhole of 11's making, connecting to this abyss where Vecna has been living. How does Vecna not know Kali's there? Right? He can reach out. She was never able to reach out and connect psychically before. Suddenly she can reach out. I learned how to connect psychically when they're sitting back to back. So I think Kali is going to be drawing them into a trap. My thing that I'm wondering about is, and so I'm not predicting, but I'm more asking, like, I wonder if this is where we see major character death. They think they're winning. They think they're getting there. And I bet you we see this in the first hour. And around that 1 hour mark is when Kali's going to turn, and that's when shit's going to hit the fan. And someone will die. And I don't know if it's Hop or if it's Mike, but somebody close to 11 is going to go down. And that, I think, maybe brings out the devil inside. I'm going to jump on with you. And that's when the music will kick in, and she'll have this loss that really pushes forward. But I think the key here is, because they keep twisting things, we have to almost expect, it's almost like a twist that's not a twist because you're expecting a twist, but there's a different twist. And I think Kali coming back, I liked her episode as a one-off. Her coming back was odd to me. And then, she's really just in the last 3 episodes has been talking about, well, we really can't be here because we have to die, or we have to go. We can't be here because they'll just keep continuing. And her whole thing was always vengeance, not sacrifice. Kali was all about, her whole episode, they killed several people because they were involved in the experiments. She ran through a building full of pregnant women going through the exact same thing. And her thought is, I have to die, not I have to kill everybody. So I wonder if it's him pushing her in a certain way, or forcing her with her fears in a certain way. So that's my prediction. Kali's going to upset this apple cart halfway through episode 8. And at least one, if not 2 of our favorites will die.
I think you're right. I do have one more that I'm hopeful that Dr. K, Sarah Connor, gets. There's some, I hope, in the Terminator, you know how he's sinking into the lava and he gives the thumbs up, he's helped the situation. He was like the villain, and now he's not. So I'm hoping that we get kind of a Sarah Connor Terminator moment where she's been a bad guy. I'm hoping that just like Kali's been a good guy turning bad guy, like you're predicting, Dr. Kate is the flip, that we get some redemption from her, that she helps. And maybe it's a sacrifice, just like Terminator with his thumbs up as he sinks into the lava. She sacrifices herself for the greater good. So
I will say that would be cool, because so far she's a remarkably unlikable character.
Yes. And very one-dimensional. So I feel like this could help.
Yeah, she's definitely just foot to the metal, pedal to the metal, whatever you want to say, just straight dickhead the whole time.
Exactly.
She's just, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah,
she's
there's
just
no redeeming
jerk.
qualities yet.
So maybe in that final moment. So that's a good question. That now I wonder too, what becomes of the base in this space, in time, in space. You know what I mean? They have a fully staffed military base. And I know we're beyond on the other side, but I do wonder too, where are all the creatures? We saw 1 or 2 demos doing some basically butler work, pulling the kids in and hooking them back up. But there are no bats. There's no creatures. There's no demo dog. Well, there's a couple of demo dogs, I guess, that he sends them, but there's just 3. And then somehow
it's not the large scale warfare we were expecting in season 5 yet.
So I wonder if there will be an outpouring of creatures from the abyss. Supposedly that's where they're from, so that will be like a major, like the battle of 5 armies at the end of the hunt. You know what I mean? It's going to be this huge, large scale.
Yeah.
There'll be the soldiers. There'll be our team. There'll be the demos and Vecna. It'll be this meeting in the middle.
Agreed.
So, all right. Well, if you guys think we right, wrong, indifferent, send us some notes. Comment on the video. We're gonna be watching with bated breath. Are you gonna watch New Year's Eve, or are you gonna watch the next day?
Next day.
I have to work. I have a show New Year's Eve in Nashua that I picked up, so I'm gonna go do that, and I might have to watch when I get home.
Well, yeah, you don't want spoilers.
No,
it's gonna be hard.
No.
It's gonna be difficult for me not to see spoilers, but
yes, you're gonna just have to be in a little tunnel, not a wormhole tunnel, but you know.
But I'm ready.
Tunnel.
I'm ready for the devil inside.
All right. There you have it, guys. OriginalGeekPodcast.com, OriginalGeekPodcast@gmail.com. Check us out. Tell us what you think.
All right. See you on the upside down, OGs.